All right, we're back. Welcome to Point Fighter Live. Let us know where you're watching from. Comment, anything that if you have an opinion on the subject we're talking about. I'm here with Jeremy Roque again, and
What's up, brother?
what's up, man? What's up? So yeah, the topic today is a hot topic, is judging, and there's a few topics that we're gonna discuss here. And if you guys are watching at home, let us know where you're watching from. Share it. Hashtag I love sport karate, and give us your opinions. So we were talking about uh, is there ever a good reason, right, to take a referee out, arbitrate for a referee to be taken out mid division in the middle? And I guess we were talking about it should be done if you have an issue with a referee, it should be done before the division starts, right?
No, yeah, I think, in my opinion, it needs to be done before the division starts, man. But at the same time, as a promoter, as a league, you have to back your judges, right? And you have to make sure you put the best qualified judges in the ring. And now, hey, what I'm guilty of, sometimes you have judges, you put them in the ring, and yeah, if you realize that maybe you have more experience or more qualified judges in there, you might do that. But I think what we're talking about here is a fighter trying to arbitrate or protest a judge out of the ring mid fight or mid division. And I don't think that should be allowed unless the judge got too emotional. Unless the judge got too emotional in the fight. But
Yeah.
we have to take a look at the judges and make sure that their alliances are not all aligned with one fighter, right? So that way it's that what were we talking about earlier? That the unintended bias, right? I mean, it's not blatantly cheating, of course, but you're looking for a fighter because you know him, you train with him, you're looking for a certain move, and so in that case, then perhaps maybe it is, but they shouldn't have started the ring at all. They shouldn't have been in the ring at all. So yeah.
Hey, you're right about that. And sometimes, a coach or a player will be like, okay, if it gets to my fight, I'm going to arbitrate because maybe they even had some issues in the past or whatever, or they have a fighter in there, that's an instructor, the referee's an instructor, and then they're like, I'm going to wait till if it's I'm fighting them to protest, but they should be done at the beginning. And man, you saying that made me realize like that kind of happened to me before. That was in Grands U.S. Open. I had a few fighters going for Grands, and the center referee was the instructor of one of the fighters that was in Grants, but I did it when it came up to my fighter, but I should have done it at the beginning. Like I didn't even think about that till you just said that. That's like super smart way to do it right there. Just do it before. The only other reason I could think about taking them out in the middle is if a lot of complaints about the calls, I guess maybe, but like you said, it goes back to the promoter and the coordinators making sure people are trained and like stuff like that doesn't happen where a referee, people are like, want them out, but
Yeah. Hey, and I'm not sure if we're going to get into this. I think we are. What about, and if we are, we can put it off to the side. What about a judge judging a division, stepping out in the same division to coach a fighter within that division, and then when that fight is over, come back in as a judge?
yeah.
And I think that's even worse. If we're going to discuss that later, let me know.
That's true. No, we could get right into that one already. I think that's true. If you have a fighter that you don't want to coach and then you're a referee, it's a conflict of interest because, you want that fighter to win, of course, because you're his coach. So then even though you're not judging his fights, not saying that you're going to cheat, right? Or you want the best route for your fighter, right? You shouldn't be in there that way. Not only from a judging perspective, just from you and your fighter perspective. If you're the coach of the fighter, you want to be in a zone, both of you together, and sig, not just be like, I'm judging, I'm coaching, I'm judging, I'm coaching. It's like not good either way.
Oh yeah, it's not good either way, and it's not good for the fighters. Like I said, as a coach, right, Alex? If I'm coaching you and you're fighting, and then I don't know who comes up, right? At the end of the day, I'm like, hey, I hope that guy wins because that's a better fight for Alex. He fights that guy better. He matches up better with fighter A versus fighter B. And so in my mind, I'm like, man, fighter A go, fighter A win, fighter A win. But imagine if I was judging, and now I'm thinking that I'm not saying I'm going to cheat for fighter A because I'm not that judge at all. But in my mind, again, that unintended bias, I'm looking for fighter A's calls or points. I'm more looking at him than the other fighter. So again, to remove that, if I'm going to coach, I got to coach. If I'm going to judge, I got to judge. I cannot be both in that division. Maybe the next division, but then let's go a step further. Maybe not at all. Because eventually, if I want my fighter to win, especially if he wins, well, in this case, there's grand champion, right? I want my fighter to take the big bucks. Maybe I don't want him to fight that lightweight or that middleweight or that 30 plus or whatever the case may be. Yeah. But anyways, it goes in a bigger picture of things. But definitely what we're talking about. No, if you're going to coach a division, you got to coach. Don't step in and judge. And I'm not going to mention any fighters' names because, again, I don't believe that anything was done wrong in terms of cheating at an event, but I was looking at it, and I think that shouldn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah, even if you judge it as fair as you can, too, you don't want, people talking and saying, like, I would never do that just because I'll be like, because sometimes you even judge super fair and you're unbiased, and then a call doesn't go the way somebody saw it, and they're just like, you got attacked, so you're just putting yourself.
Yeah, they're like, oh, of course, Jeremy, of course, because that guy's from Orlando or whatever, and then fighters complain the whole time. That's what they do. I swear, fighters complain more than Karens do. It's ridiculous. you get a group of black belt fighters on the side, and all you hear is whining. But anyway,
it's never their fault that they lost, right?
Different subjects, Yeah. As a judge, hey, if both sides are mad, you probably did a good job, right?
Yeah, for sure. No, and it also is up to like the coordinator, especially in the adult division. It should be like those judges should be set in place even days before and be like, hey, you're doing the black belt division, because that's even more important right there. I think that because that's when issues kind of happen. You know what I mean? Now, let's say you have a tournament, a USA Sport Karate tournament, regional, and the promoters are bringing students and their instructors to help. So sometimes that is going to happen where you're going to have students competing, that, and you're judging them. You know what I mean? So fairness goes into that. But I think for maybe the adult division, black belt fighting, maybe it could be done. But you never know. Like I said, sometimes the promoters are the coaches are the judges. Who else are you going to get for judging?
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough. I know. I was speaking with John about this the other day, and he brought to my attention, and so it helped me to list out my judges. He brought some to my attention. So what I did is I list out my judges that are common judges at one of our events, our USA Sport Karate events, and whether they're centers or not, I put next to them center for underbelts. Like this judge is a great center for underbelts.
Yeah.
This judge is a great center for junior black belts. This judge is a great center for adult black belts. Because, a good judge is not always a great judge across all divisions.
So true.
You could be a great judge for black belts, but you could have terrible energy for a 7-year-old beginner division. And I don't want you judging them. So I think that's important to line them up. And again, this is all conversation that happens when you sit down and speak to fighters and you speak to school owners, you speak to competitors, and you got to get their feedback, because if you believe your system is perfect, well, that's the first issue, right? You got to sit down and you got to speak to the competitors, to your customers, get feedback, get good feedback, and not only just get their feedback, but get feedback with the goal to change. If you're just getting feedback for feedback's sake, wasting time.
Man, good points there for sure. That's I think that you made some great points there. It also goes back to just, referees getting educated. You guys do a great job with that. Like everybody in USA Sport Karate has to be certified. You can't get a T-shirt to judge unless you're do the test and everything, right?
The test, you got to tell you have to be certified. But at the end of the day, man, we're not perfect. I know, I get it. We have a lot of stuff to work on. No one is. We're constantly looking at judges. We're constantly rotating them out and seeing what we have to do. And so at the end of the day, you got to be improving. You always got to be improving. And in a perfect world, you have your top 3 judges at every tournament. But at the end of the day, they can't always make it. So you got to make sure you have another judge that's just as good. It's not, hey man, I'm sorry, I have to give you a replacement. No, hey, I'm giving you these judges, and they're well qualified and they know what to do. That's it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, and you know, judging, right? Let's say you're judging and you have a teammate in the ring competing, right? He's about to compete. Like, let's say you're the coach or the instructor or even teammate. If it was me, I wouldn't want to be I wouldn't want to be judging in there. You know what I mean? I would just take myself out, right? I think. What do you think the right thing to do there? Because it kind of looks weird, even if the person is calling it straight. And you know, and sometimes fighters. This is what happens though. Sometimes we say this, but then the fighters, there's kind of like a respect for each other. You know what I mean? Because I seen it happen. You know, this weekend it happened, and there was nobody that had an issue with it. Like everybody was pretty much comfortable. You know, the only people that were maybe saying something were the people watching the stream at home. But like, you know, sometimes they have that respect. But still, even with that being said, I would never judge a teammate of mine. Like I would take myself out because it's pressure on myself too. You have to even call it even better, right? And because your teammate could be mad if you don't give him a point that he thought, oh man, come on, you didn't even give me that point.
I know, right? It's tough. I get what you're saying, and it goes both ways. Not only teammates, but fans. At the end of the day, we're judges, right? But we're fans too, right? Yeah. We look at certain players and we're like, man, this guy is good. You know, just the other day I posted about Brandon Ballou. I was like, wow, he really impressed me at Pro Point. And then the next week I'm judging him, right? And so it goes both ways. Now me, I would like to say I'm as straight as it goes. I'm going to call it as fair as I see it, and most people would agree. However, if you're on the losing end of Brandon, you might say, hey, man, that guy Jeremy, he's a fan of Brandon. Shouldn't be judging him, right? So it goes both ways. Teammates, fans, coaches, instructors. There's no perfect solution, right? But as far as teammates goes, yeah, it's tough, right? Because if you look at this weekend, it was like a super regional, right? Was what we call it. It wasn't a local, it wasn't a national, but it had really every active fighter. I mean, it was probably missing like three of the top four, maybe four top active fighters who don't want to compete for whatever reason, right? That's okay. But we won't get into that, right? but anyway, so they're not there, and so you have fighters there and a lot of regional, right? If you look at one of our events that's more regional, or even our super regionals, you know, like the Mayan Challenge, you know, who's going to be judging? If Obeida's not fighting, Obeida's in a ring. If I'm not fighting, which I'm not going to be, I'm in a ring, right? If you have our top guys, they're going to be in a ring, and they're all local talent. But at the end of the day, I'll trust Obeida over any judge that you give me. Name one judge right now on any team, and I can tell you right now, Obeida's a better judge than them. But you might say, oh, should he be judging because maybe there's the top Orlando guy fighting, right? Maybe not, but still, I think he's the number one judge for that ring. So that's where you got to position corners to be maybe not from Orlando or not from the team or not affiliated. So that way now it's more well-rounded. But it's a tough, man. It's a chessboard, right?
Yeah, I think I even seen Obeida do it. I'm not sure, but he'll be like, hey, is everything cool? Like if he does have somebody there, like he makes sure the communication's there, and they're like, yeah, everything's good, you know, because they know. But that's taking even an extra step in there. Now, what happens though if there's like maybe a little altercation between a fighter and the referee, right? And something happens at that point. Now, if you're a fighter, you don't want to be pissing the judge off, right? You want to be nice, but you know. But because think about it, imagine you get a referee upset, you know, like it's going to kind of, you know, even if the referee wants to be unbiased, it's going to affect maybe the cause, you know.
And it goes back to the rule book, right? What are you doing as a fighter and as a fighter? And if you know me, I'm that fighter. I'm in your face, loud. I was actually calm this weekend, but as a fighter, you have to know what you can and can't do, what you can and can't get away with the judges that are there, right? Yeah. But the center judge has every right to disqualify you at any given time if the rule book allows it. based on your actions. So yeah, you want to make sure you're not showing poor sportsmanship to the judges, right? You definitely got to make sure you watch your mouth when talking to the judge, because at the end of the day, that judge, in most circuits, it's a 3-strike, you're out rule, right? First penalty, penalty to their side. Second warning, penalty point on the side. Third warning, the fight's over, all right? And any warning can be escalated to a DQ. So you definitely got to watch out for that. But at the same time, judges, us as judges, we need to not be so emotional. We're there to do one thing, judge. The fighter's there to do one thing, win. 2 things, win and not like your calls. I mean, so we need to just not be so emotional. And some judges, they're just too emotional, man. I mean, that's it. Leave your journals at home and just judge. That's it.
Yeah, sometimes the judges, they get some of them, they get defensive. Like you get a little upset about a call, and then you're like, you become too aggressive towards that, and you should be more calm and handle it the right way. Maybe stay calm and give a warning or a penalty, right? But stay calm instead of firing back almost, So
you got to make sure, like you said, you got to stay calm, right? Take a step back, let the fighter do what he wants. I'm going to remember, I was at a tournament this week. I was at a tournament one time, and I was on the receiving end of, I was the fighter who was being aggressive, and I was wrong. I was 100% wrong. And I remember the center. I don't remember his name, but I remember the center. He let me talk. He let me get mad. He just stood back. And when I was done, he goes, winner this way, to the other guy. That's it. Game over. He let me talk. Go ahead. You want to speak? He didn't argue with me. I was even more upset, right? But at the end of the day, he did the right thing because I was in the wrong. And I think we got to do that sometimes. I think, hey, David Bostonetta is good at that. David Bostonetta is good. He'll just take a step back. He'll be quiet. Point this way.
Man, I miss that guy. Yeah, I miss that guy. He's a good referee. But yeah, that does happen, man. You're so right about that with the judging,
And it goes back to emotion. Take emotion out of it. And intros, by the way. Take intros out of it too. But remove emotions. You got to remove the emotions and just do your job. We're there to do a job. You're there to fight. I'm there to judge. I'm there to coordinate. But you got to make sure to do that. Yeah, we need a lot more officials.
That's good.
We need officials to step up. But yeah, man, just remove emotions. Emotions always make it's a bad decision usually. I mean, it's just not good.
Yeah, man, for sure. You can't as a referee, the center especially, let the fight get out of control too. Sometimes when there's things that happen is because the one fighter maybe hit late, and then the referee didn't really do anything about it. Then the other fighter wants to retaliate too, and then bam, sometimes things like that happen. It's about controlling the ring, pretty much too. So man, but that's rough. Like the center referees have to be so trained as well. I think that improves everything too.
I think the center referee needs backup. The center referee needs backup. So if you look at all leagues, the center referee has to control the fight, right? They have to control the coach. And then you expect the center, to also control my ring, around my ring, and make sure there's only one coach, and make sure that's a lot to do. Hey, Aki, what's up, bro? Thank you, man. That's a lot to do for a fighter. For a center judge. It's a lot. It's enough. It's enough to deal with. Thank you, Natalie. It's enough to deal with 2 great fighters and make sure you're doing the best that you can to call what you see within the rule book, but to control everything else around it, because that also makes the emotions rise, right? When you see there's a crowd and then their team behind them and everyone's getting all excited, we need a coordinator at that ring to clear the ring. We need coordinators to help. And, I'm saying this and I'm thinking of it too at my events. We need that as well, because we have to support our top judges. I think Richard? Richard said we need a lot more officials. We need a bigger pool. Yeah, we need to support officials. We need to be there and back them and help them, because, man, too many times you throw a good center out to the Sharks, right? And a good coach will eat them alive, bro. You're one of those coaches, or used to be.
Yeah, I was. I was. Yeah, I used to bully the coaches to give me the calls.
And they need support too. They need support from the outside.
Yeah.
And I think if we did that, now as a good center can do their job a little better.
Hey, and you also have, I remember like last year, I'm not sure if you started doing this again this year, but like even training. I remember last year with USA Sport Karate, you guys had like the judges and then you'll have like a trainee on the side, right? So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good way to get.
We do that frequently, man. We'll have and I'll explain it, of course, to competitors. They'll be like, hey, why is there 4 judges here? No, there's only 3, but that judge right there sitting next to me while I'm giving scores, I'm just explaining to him what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, what I'm doing on my notepad. We do that to brand new judges and especially our juniors. And leagues, man, if you're not empowering your juniors to judge, then now you're just getting old black belt senseis to judge that haven't competed in years and don't know what they're looking at. No, you got to get the young guys, these young competitors, 14 to 17, black belts, advancing black belts. I mean, they're more active. They know what to look for. And honestly, if you ask them, they're going to be there to help you because they respect you. Alex, if you take one of these juniors and say, hey, can you help me film for Point Fighter? They're going to say, oh, my God, Alex Reyes asked me to help them. Man, because you're a role model for them, right? And if we do the same thing to these judges and we teach them, these kids, now we're building the next crop. But if we're starting the next crop at, I'm sorry, a 6th-degree black belt who's never been to a tournament, that's just the wrong model. That's the wrong model. We got to start young. And, yeah, it's a building process, right? They're not going to be a good judge for tomorrow. They're going to be a good judge in a few months, a year, 2 years. But when the time is right, just like a performance, they'll peak and they'll be good to go.
I like the training stuff too. That's awesome. That's really good. Now, other topics about judging. I had a few other ones in my mind. I'm just trying to remember. but more judges, right? Let's say session. I know you got sessions, and just I think you've talked to me about this before, where a judge takes a break or you switch them out and stuff like that. But of course, you need a lot more judges. But that could be something that could be done too, right? Because sometimes a judge is there all day, from the morning till like 5 p.m. or whatever, But if you're kind of like, if you have the ability to maybe switch them, but when you're switching them, you got to kind of be worried that they don't leave, right? But maybe they won't want to leave if you're doing that, if they know they're going to have a break, right?
Yeah, it's tough, man. You got to have, like Richard said, you got to have, man, imagine this weekend. He's running 10 rings, 30 officials, plus another what? You got to have 10 backups. I mean, that's tough to have 40 officials, good ones anyways, right? Good ones. So that's really hard to do. So in a perfect world, yeah, you do that, right? But that's tough. And imagine these larger tournaments, Diamond, US Open, but then again, you see the results you get. You have rings that have just ridiculous, like you're like, that guy's judging. That guy has never stepped on a mat in day in his life, right? But hey, I guess they have to do what they have to do. I won't mention tournaments, but we'll keep it nice and calm here because that tournament might hire me, right? So I got to be nice.
For sure, man.
But no, man. Yeah, I mean, topics. Hey, a hot topic right here, and we should have brought it up earlier, but we'll bring it up now. So how about promoters and volunteers? One of my good friends, Mr. Jose Leno, he's a judge here. He brought this up to me, and I was like, wow, that's so true. He said, man, I'm a volunteer at a tournament, and a promoter of the league is leaving while I'm still judging.
Yeah.
He's leaving while I'm still judging. And I think, man, if you're a promoter, whether it's in your league or another league, you have a duty to work as hard as possible for that promoter. Whether if I'm going to Jim's tournament, if I'm going to Manny Reyes tournament, if I'm going to Murphy Gonzalez tournament, if I'm going to, I don't care whose tournament, right? I have a job to make sure that I do the best judging, and I'm there to help as much as possible, because at the end of the day, one bad event is bad for all of us. One bad judge is bad for all of us. One
Yes.
bad ring is bad for all of us. Whether we have different leagues and you're this and I'm that and I'm better, we're all the same, man. We're all sport karate, and we got to be in it together. And if we're in it together, then you're just causing problems, and get out the way, you know. And so,
Yeah,
man,
you're
we got
right.
to help.
Yeah, you're right. Especially like a promoter in that league, you want, you know, your when it's your tournament, you want the judges to in the promoters to stick around to the end. You know what I mean? So that's a good point. You know, and a great point of view from the guy that you said, one of the judges, right? One of the volunteers, right?
Yeah,
That
one of our
shouldn't
guys.
happen.
Like I said, he brought it to my attention. I was like, dude, you are so
Yeah,
right. Like he brought it to my attention, and then I never seen it that way, because when I go to an event, I can care less who the promoters are. I'm just there to help, man. That's
yeah,
it. I'm just there to do. I will pass waters out. I'll pick up mats. I'll judge. Whatever you need me to do. I'm not above anything, right? I'm there to help. I went to
yeah,
Jim's tournament this weekend to help. Whatever he needed me to do. If I wasn't qualified to be in that ring, that's okay. I'll go over there. Wherever you need me, my friend, I'm there to help. And I think too many judges, but again, this goes back to that old school sense of mentality. Oh no, I'm only going to do black belts. But you're a terrible judge. You're not even a good judge for black belts.
yeah.
Why should you do black belts? You probably should judge it all. Matter of
That's
fact, don't
true.
even come to my tournament. To stay home. You know, I mean, but I don't know.
Hey, but
People
if
are
you're a promoter, then maybe that should be a rule. But you know, people don't even think about that as a rule because you're expecting them to be there. You know, that's their promoter. You got my back kind of mentality, right? But maybe it could just be said, you know, hey, if you're a promoter, you got to stick it out to the end, right, and be there.
yeah,
That
you
could be
got to help
helpful.
out the whole event, man. You got to be there to support. You got to be there to support 110%, man. So, but yeah, man, you got any other crazy topics?
Nah, not really. I mean, we're almost at eight
Drop
forty
some
five.
names, man. I'm ready to talk. Drop some names. You
Hey,
got.
but we need to do this. We need to do this on a regular basis because this was great to talk about this topic. This was a great topic, and me and you are always talking all the time about topics, and we got to do it like this. You know, it feels like norm. It feels just like talking to you every day right now. So, and
Yeah,
people
yeah,
just
no,
listen.
well, whenever, man, I'm always available, and I think
Yeah,
it's good to get out there. You know, I'm not shy, man. I'll speak, and you know, I'm gonna say this because every time I say something, I get like 5 messages. Oh, Jeremy, you're gonna hurt your league. Hey, man, here's the thing. Here's the thing. They're gonna support you or they're not. So I'm gonna say what I
yeah.
want,
Well,
right?
when you say, you know, when you say anything, right, what I notice is that you're coming from a passion of the sport. Like you're thinking about the sport, not about yourself, really. So you're really looking at it. Well, even if it's something like, say, you say that people may think it's controversial or whatever, but you know, your agenda is to like, okay, I'm saying this because it's going to make the sport better. I think it's going to make the
It's
sport
all
better.
about the
So
sport. It's all about the sport. There's gonna be a time where I will no longer host the best tournaments in the area. There's going to be a time where a younger, more enthusiastic, better group of people are going to be there to host tournaments, and hopefully we help lay the foundation and hope
yeah,
we give them some inspiration to do better, right? And at
yeah,
the end of the day, yeah, man, you have to call it what it is. And usually, what people don't see is when I'm posting something, it's not about other people's league. I'm probably posting it about my own league. I'm
yeah,
posting about stuff that we have issues with, and I'm not calling someone else out. I'm just saying, hey, we got to do better. And at the end of the day, man, you have to put it out there so that way change can happen. If you stay
yeah,
shut, if you do nothing, if you just be quiet, then no change is going to happen. And you have to go out there and do work. You know, the reason why I started judging a long time ago, when I was like young, is I said, I can't complain about the judging if I'm not going to be a part of the solution, right? I got to be out there helping and doing my best
right.
and trying and learning and making my mistakes too. I can't complain about you doing terrible shows and then me not going and doing a show. I mean, not sorry, you do good shows, but my point, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't complain about this and that. I mean, so let's go.
Hey, you're right. That's just hating. If you do that, you're just being a hater. But see, that's where I think that's why people understand you and like people don't get mad because they know where you're coming from. You know, because they're just sometimes some straight up haters and they just are hating any chance they can. But we're not going to talk about that.
You, bro.
Yeah, I'm not going to mention any names or pages. But yeah, man. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. We got to do this on a regular basis. This was awesome. I had so much fun here. And Sport Karate is coming back, and you're one of the ones that's keeping the sport alive and has kept the sport alive. Even last year, there, you know, with the pandemic and live events, you know, virtual, and you're ahead of everything. You got the blueprint. So if you're even a promoter, you know, Jeremy has been doing this for a long time. He's been doing it during the pandemic. His tournaments are great. You know, contact him because we need more tournaments in the sport as well. If it's available, you know, different states are you know, have different circumstances, but if you can, you know, contact Jeremy, he'll help you out. Thanks, man.
Go to usasportkarate.com or the USA Sport Karate Facebook page, or just message me, or whatever I can do to help. Like I said, I don't have an agenda within my own league. My agenda is number one, to make the sport better. There's a lot of leagues out there that only care about their league, and that's not me. It's all about making the sport better. And thank you for having me, brother. I appreciate you.
For sure, man. All right, take care. I'll see you soon. All right. Yes, see you guys on Saturday. Power, baby. Woo!